The top of the Empire State Building.
New York.
How do we say it? Grammy Award winner, sneaker connoisseur, Ben. Where? I mean, come on, man. There's so many different
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Brand
designer.
Senior
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Husband, father.
Macklemore in the studio. Man.
Come on.
Hey.
I thought you were gonna say Senior Frogs, and I was gonna be like,
Not that.
I have gone. Yes, we don't talk about what happened at Senior Frogs. It was 20 years ago.
What happened? in
Do you
Canada?
remember what
Yes,
happened?
exactly.
Dude.
There was some Jello.
Here we are, fam. We're wait a second. Let's stay on the Senior Frogs. The slide. You remember the slide that
Oh,
was
man.
inside that
Oh,
goes
my
and
God.
it releases
Debauchery.
into the
Debauchery.
Nah. Here we are, man. Mere hours away.
Yes.
From these stories, man. From this album. From the album in which you chose to put your government name
Yep.
on.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean to you, bro?
You know, it means that I can't think of an album title. No, I think what it means is it's getting back to the core, getting back to the origin of where this all came from. And I think that in a very pure sense, that there's art and there's the music and there's the music business.
Okay.
And a lot of what I do is on the music business side of it by being independent and running a business, you know, with a core group of, 4 or 5 individuals. And I wanted to go back to the place of, well, why do you make art? What speaks to the spirit?
Okay.
Let's strip away layers. Let's get to the core. Let's remember why this is important. Why you have a pen in your hand.
Yeah.
What are you in it for? It's to get closer to yourself. It's to get closer to God, to the universe, to realize that you're just a conduit, that
Yeah.
this is a shell, and that let's get honest. Let's get
Yeah.
vulnerable and make some bangers.
We are excited. It's been a second since we've had an album from you, and you were really intentional on making sure that you spent a lot of time on this one and that you were able to tour
Yeah.
for this one. Why did you decide to spend so much time during the pandemic when everyone was kind of telling you, put it out, but you were like, I'm not ready yet?
I don't ever want to put out art that I can't go and play in front of the people.
Okay.
That to me is so important because that's the celebration. We're talking about it right before we started recording. It's like this is a celebration. This is the moment of like the art comes out into the world and then we get to celebrate it with the people.
Yes.
And I don't want the art to come out the world and then celebrate with the internet.
Yeah, it's not the
That's
same vibe.
different.
It's
completely
You
different.
don't feel the hands on the bottom of the feet when you're in the
Yes.
crowd. When you're
I got a
sitting-
crowd walk.
You got a crowd walk.
I
You
gotta
gotta
jump
do
into
it.
the crowd.
Yes.
And that's what I saw in a lot of the comments when Elvis Duran in the morning show posted that you were going to be part of what's going down in Mallorca. People were like, Macklemore puts on a show.
Mm.
Love the music, love the album, but you don't really experience you until people see you in real life.
Yeah.
How important is that for you?
I appreciate that. That's where I thrive. I'm in my bag on stage. I love the studio, but there is something about being on stage that is unrivaled. And I've always felt that. I think that ever since I was a little kid, I was like, I want to be on stage. It wasn't like I want to be in the studio. It was like, sure, I want to be on stage though.
Were your parents supportive of that? Were you doing talent shows and stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they were, my mom was just like, Hercules. Like she was just that mom, She was that one, and she was like, "Oh my God, Ben, you're so amazing." And looking back, I was like, "Yo, you were definitely lying to me, saying that piece of art was amazing."
Nah. Well, look at how the apple doesn't fall far, man. I mean, as we look at someone who's very special to you, you're
Yeah.
supporting someone who is very special to you in that same way.
Yeah.
Putting her foremost in front and letting her create the visuals. Your girl Sloan
Yeah.
is the damn director of No Bad Day. I mean, how do you?
And
where
the
does
video
that?
of her crying when you're telling her, you see how much it means to her that you
Yeah.
chose her to do that.
Mhm.
What? There's so many questions here, but I think the one that really hits my heart, and I think everyone else's, is how proud are you as a dad to know that she did the damn thing?
I'm so proud. I'm so
She's
proud.
7. You know what I'm
She's
saying?
7.
She's 7, fam.
And the best part is to watch your kid's imagination come to life.
yeah.
And because I recorded it, and then she cried, and then we stopped the video, and she was like, "All right, so what does a director do?"
You have to give her all the lingo.
Yeah.
and just to give a 7-year-old that autonomy to actually go create and so this is your team, and you're not at the peak of the mountain here. This is your team, as everyone is part of the supportive mission of creating something.
Yes.
And, you know, how do we work with others? How do we execute a vision? How do we stay within budget? You know, all of these things. And I'm like, let's go there. Let's have this conversation. You want to make something? Let's do it. Let's do it the right way.
Full dad mode right there, though. I mean, all those life lessons that are more important than just what's going to come out in
Absolutely.
the 3 minutes and something seconds
Yes,
with the final
completely.
product.
And
Those
the
are things-
memories that are going to come from that. Like,
Yo.
even with, you know, Glorious, I look back and, you know, every couple years I watch a music video and I'm reminded of my relationship with my grandma. I'm going to have this with Sloan forever. And I'm going to, you know, she's going to be 15. I'm going to, like, you know, send her a link to the video and be like, remember when we were cool and you didn't hate me?
Remember when you weren't Venmoing yourself money off
Right,
my
from
cell
my
phone
phone.
and you stole it at midnight?
Well, I love that you've been documenting the journey of directing the video
Yeah.
with her. She was dragging you. She's
Yes,
been
she
putting
is.
you in different elements that you weren't really prepared for. Number one, I have a question because she wanted you to dye your hair, but then she said, you don't even know if you're going to have hair for much longer.
Yeah, it was tough.
How does that feel?
Tough pill to swallow.
You know, she's right.
Would you be
She's
okay
right.
being bald? You have a nice hairline, but like, would you be okay being a bald daddy?
Well, you have to be. You have to just grow facial hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like the guy I'm dating.
I do.
He's got a big-
I do. I do know what you mean. To me, like, I'm going to grow the weirdest mustache when this goes. I'm growing weird, you know, but
She also got you on a horse.
yes.
She said, Dad, if I don't want to get you on a horse, you're like, I don't want to do that, but you did and you're doing it. What was that experience like?
I don't trust horses.
I know.
Like,
can
I
tell.
love horses.
Yeah.
I just don't trust myself riding a horse. When a horse starts to walk fast, that feels like you're going 100 miles an hour. like what they call a slow trot. I'm like, yo, okay. Slow down. This is a gallop. I think my ass is still sore. We shot that like a week and a half ago. And I'm just coming back. You know, I don't know how to ride a horse.
Oh man, for you to have these experiences, the most important part, as you said, man, and for this album to come to life and be cohesive. But before we crack the mic, Crystal even said, you know, there are so many different sounds.
Yeah.
You're challenging yourself to go different ways to be even more diverse than before. Was that intentional?
No. I'm just a Gemini, and I'm
All right, it's just that's
all
where you were
over
that
the
day.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I go in the studio and I'm like, what do I want to make? And
Yeah.
and I think that there's a blessing and a curse to that, but that's the art that I don't want to be like, no, guys, we're making a this type of album.
Yeah.
We can't do that. It's like, no, like let's go to the 80s. Let's
see
go to
what's
the 90s on some rap stuff. Let's go to, you know, let's make a relationship song, like whatever it is, let's go there and do the best version of that song for the song's intention, not for like necessarily it to be cohesive
Understandable.
all together.
How dope is it to know that you can do that? You can challenge yourself. You can hit all those nails, you know, in the
Mhm.
coffin and do them so successfully. I mean, you got like a record where you're going all in with bars and like heroes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're being a little bit more melodic on some of these other
Right.
tracks, you know, but you're doing it. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to drop the F-bomb, but it's fucking fire, fam.
Yeah, no,
To
I
know that
appreciate
you're
it.
able to do that.
Yeah.
And what does that mean in your heart to know and believe that you can make these things happen? And when they're done, damn.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I take pride in it. I really do,
you
and I
should.
think that because I can make the same type of song over and over.
Yep.
I can do that. I could, you know, I can make 10 different heroes, and maybe I will. But I like to be pushed. I like to push myself, like you said. I think the minute that I feel myself in the studio, like, ooh, that's uncomfortable, that's when I try to push in.
There you
That's
go.
when I try to be like, you know what, let's go there. Particularly with the writing, but even just with the experimentation. It's like, yo, I can't really sing. Like, let me try it. Let me just see what's up. And I really can't. Like, people say that and then they go and sing. And I'm like, nope, that's different than me. I can't hear any sort of pitch. There's levels to this, okay? There's levels to this. You need to tell me if I'm on. You need to tell me if I'm flat or sharp. We'll figure it out. It's going to take a little bit.
That self-awareness, though, man. You have to
Yeah,
have it.
yeah. I'm just like, but I want to make records that showcase versatility.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be versatile.
That's who Ben is.
Exactly.
Boom. Title.
I
Bam.
want to talk
Mhm.
about the track Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a sad song about asking for forgiveness, but it also has its redeeming promises in the song, which like I loved hearing that. One line that really stuck out to me, but am I the type of man I want for my daughters?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, open-ended question. I think that, yeah, in becoming the type of man that I want for my daughters, because like, no, I mean, I haven't been a perfect person in the last 7.5 years since I've had kids. I haven't. There's no way to sugarcoat that. There's been things that have happened that I'm like, no, I wouldn't want my daughters to be, with some dude that,
Has done some of the things.
yeah,
Or been in the same
yeah,
predicament.
just like, I think particularly with the relapse, it was like, I never wanted my kids to see me loaded. I never. That was like I had Sloan and was like, yo, okay. And when we got pregnant, like I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been my story. Luckily, it's been very short periods of time, a couple times that have happened. So like, I don't want to beat myself up either. It's like,
sure.
My sponsor says like, what is that going to do? But yeah, it's a real question. It's like, who do I want to be? Because who I am is who, my kids are going to see as their mom's partner.
Yeah.
And how happy is she? How happy am I? Are we
Aside from the music
communicating?
stuff,
Are
but
we?
They're focusing on you
And
as
their
a-
hero.
And yeah, I mean, hopefully, sure, yeah.
For real.
Yeah, and I want to be able to be like, man, Dad treated Mom really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And made her really happy, and she made him really happy, and they worked on their relationship as it went. And that's something that I also want to showcase, is that like where my wife and I are today will change tomorrow, and it will change in 6 months. Hopefully we're getting closer and we're growing, and they're seeing that growth as it happens.
Yep.
That's the mission.
Dude.
Well, I do have to say that thinking of Macklemore and thinking of the songs on the album and what you have done so far, like you've done a really great job, and you're a really great role model, and you're a good vibe.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
Thank you for that.
Dude.
I feel the same way about you guys.
Thank
Try.
you.
Come on, fam.
Tail Lights. It's like a raw, simple hip hop ballady, folkish, like nostalgic
Yeah.
feel. Such a great song. You also really hit your journey, and you speak on the pressure that the industry has on your album sales, bundles, accolades, but teaching your kids that freedom is not caring about other people's perception of you.
Mm-hmm. All that part. Yeah. That's the mission in life, is to shed what anyone else thinks about us, and because when we're worried about how we're going to be perceived, there's fear there, right? When we have fear, there's an absence of faith.
Yeah.
In order to get to the heart, we have to strip away the fear, trust that we're exactly where we're supposed to be right now in the universe, and that's the goal. That's the objective. That's what we're constantly working towards as humans. Hopefully,
Dude.
that's the path.
You're stepping into the light, man. And every day that you do it, every day you hit the stage and you allow us to be there to walk along with you and to help you step into that light. I mean, realistically and metaphorically, when you walk on the crowd, we are there for you. We're there to support. And the fact that you're taking us on this journey and allowing us to be a part of your not only musical growth and diversity, but your personal journey and growth, dude, through the songs that you're creating. It's absolutely spectacular.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, somebody like you can get away with a Gucci suit with Nike dry fit socks. just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying?
We
Yeah,
love that.
fam. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yes.
Gosh, man, we can sit here, we could rap for a while, but I know you got a long ass. I mean, today's the day the album comes out in a matter of hours, bro. Anything last that you want to say to the family, to the fans, to anybody? You know what I mean?
I just want to say thank you to you guys for this is our first time meeting, obviously, not ours, and like the level of questions is just super on point, and the depth that you guys are able to go into, ask personal questions and about the album and about the individual songs and bars is really cool to see at radio.
Yeah.
Like seriously, to go there, because a lot of times you go there and they ask you 3 questions and you're like, but you guys really are able to go there. So I appreciate it.
It's the energy we get.
It's you coming in. Everyone's excited for you. Everyone has loved you for so long. We're so excited to see you on tour with Tones and I, Charlie on a Friday.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
That
dude.
song Chant with Tones and I, like everyone is loving what you're doing. Your brand, Boogie
Bogey
Bo-
Boys. Bogey Boys. Little bougie too.
Congratulations. Little bougie too. But not for real. Thank you for everything you've done for us inside of our Z100 Grubhub Artist Interview Lounge.
Yeah.
We cannot wait to see you in Mallorca.
One more time.
Yes.
Get on tour.
Come
That
on.
dude.
Come on.
Ben, say his name. Macklemore in the
From the top of the Empire State Building.
Z100.